Hey, it's Adam. I want to bring you a slower paced balancing class today. So let's grab your mats and we'll start on all fours. So come onto your hands and knees. And take some time here. We'll start to shift weight side to side. I'm starting to feel how the body feels in whatever time you're practicing in. Maybe your body's just waking up. Maybe your body's been up for a while. Just feel it out. Little side to side motions, how the shoulders are feeling. Maybe rounding through the wrists. One direction, the other direction. Two more breaths. No right or wrong. Just really feel this out. And feel whatever fluidity you have in your body. All right, now come back to center. Let's step the knees together behind us. Extend the right leg behind you. Press through the right heel. Point the toes towards the ground. Still pressing into both hands so your shoulders are still proud. All right, now readjust. Engage your right glute to feel that right hip lift. And then point your right pinky toes towards the ground so you feel your inner right thigh spin towards the ceiling. Now keeping that engagement, left arm reaches towards the front of the room. Extend your left thumb towards the ceiling. Feel that length in your left arm. Now try to lift your left bicep up by your left ear a little bit more. Pushing into the sole of the right hand, pull your right shoulder back and feel that left arm get a little longer. Don't forget about the right leg. Press firm through the heel. Take 2 more breaths. Actively reaching forward for your last breath. Then left hand comes back down to the mat. And on your next exhale, left knee or right knee comes all the way in towards the nose. Touch the forehead. Curl your left toes under. Lift your left knee. Keep that knee into your chest, right knee into your chest. Hands press into the ground. Press into your thumbs. One more breath. Right knee comes down all the way right by that right thumb. Modified side plank. Spin to the knife edge your left foot. Left arm reaches towards the ceiling. Now my right fingers are on the mat, not my palm. So whatever feels best for you. With the fingers in the mat, I feel like I can get some more length out of this left side. And then start to rotate my left shoulder towards the ceiling. Keep constant pressure in the knife edge of that back foot. All right, now your side body is engaged. Next inhale, we're going to come up and take a gate pose. So left arm comes down our back leg. Right arm lifts up and back. Now take a couple breaths here. Let this pose start to open up through right side body. And then if you want to add more into this, start to push firmly through that right knee. Feel this right side body start to open up. Then continue that journey back. Keep the right shoulder open so you're gazing underneath that right armpit. One more breath. And then hands cartwheel back down to the mat. Both hands touch the mat. Curl the left toes. Right knee comes back into your chest. Touch the forehead toward your knee. And then see if you can press your forehead into your knee as you come back into your 3-legged dog. Right leg lifts high. And we'll bend the knee, open up half scorpion. You can round through the knee, round through the foot. Whatever feels best for you. Try to keep your right shoulder down. Press through the left heel. One more breath. Lengthen your right leg long. On your exhale, bring your right knee right into your waist. Come forward. And then drop your right knee right underneath your hip. Left knee to the mat, back to your quadrupeds. One set of our cat and cows. Inhale, head up, tail up. Exhale, head and tail curl under. All right, back to your neutral spine. Knees step together. Left leg extends long behind you. Now take some time here. Press through that left heel so you feel your entire back of your left leg light up. Toes are pointed to the ground. Stabilize through your shoulders and wrists. And then start to roll that left pinky finger or pinky toe towards the ground, rotating the inner thigh towards the front of the room, towards the ceiling. All right, keep that engagement. Right arm reaches far. Right bicep right by the ear, right thumb towards the ceiling. Now reach actively through the right fingertips. Keep your left leg engaged. Push into your left palm of the hand, pull your left shoulder back, and feel that right arm get a little longer. Keep the bicep lifted. Keep that left heel lifted. 2 more breaths. Strong core. Right hand down to the mat. And on your exhale, left knee comes in towards the nose. Bring it in first. See if you can touch. Curl the right toes. And then we lift that right knee off the mat. Press firmly more into the hands. Feel the shoulders open up behind you. Knee into chest. One more breath. Plant your left knee just by that left thumb. Spin to the knife edge of the right foot. Modified side plank, left arm down, right arm high. So first couple breaths, just opening up through this right side. Feel the stability of your base. And then if you want to add on to that, start to open up the right shoulder towards the ceiling. Push through the knife edge of that right foot and feel it light up all the way through your glute. Couple more breaths. Get expansive through this top lung. Side body engaged. Inhale, come up first. And then we'll move into our gate pose. Right hand comes down our right thigh. Left arm reaches up and back. Breathe here. Feel that openness in this left lung. Push firmly through your left knee. Start to feel that left hip flexor open more. Keep the left arm reaching back. Keep the left shoulder spinning open. One more breath. Left hand comes down to the mat. Curl the right toes. Bring your left knee back into your chest. Touch the nose. And then forehead into the knee. Chase it all the way back. Three-legged dog, left leg high. Bend the knee, open up, half scorpion. You can find that movement with the knee, with the foot, whatever felt good on the other side. Try to keep your left shoulder pushing down and back. One more breath. Square the hips first, lengthen the left leg. And then on the exhale, left knee comes right into the waist again. Drop the left knee to the mat, underneath the hip. Right knee follows back into your quadrupeds. 2 cats and cows. Inhale, head up, tail up. Exhale, head and tail curl under. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Neutral spine. Curl the toes, downward dog. And keep your knees bent as long as you need to as you press your hips back into your downward dog. And then as things start to feel okay, maybe start to straighten the legs, driving the heels towards the mat. And then we'll start to walk it out. Paddle the feet left and right. Gentle shifting the weight from side to side. Feeling out your hamstrings. A little more weight into our shoulders. A couple more breaths. No right or wrong here also. So really feel out this downward dog. Step the feet together. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your right elbow. So press into your right elbow first. Shoulders over the wrists. A lot of pressure in that right knee to elbow, and then gently pull your right knee back about a ½ inch. Still pressure into the hands. Feel the openness in the back. Maybe come forward onto your right tippy toes. It's about 5 more seconds here. Constant pressure. Push into your fingers. Next exhale, right knee comes down to your right wrist. Press into the wrist first. And then pull the knee away about a ½ inch. Same idea. Press into the hands. Press into the thumbs. Strong back leg. 3 more breaths. Knee into chest. Come up high on the back toes. Flex the right foot. Step between the hands. Crescent moon. Drop the back knee. Inhale, arms come high. Pinky fingers rotate in towards each other. And then we'll sink deep into our hips. So our Chandrasana, crescent moon pose. Sink deep into your hips. Let that left hip push forward. Let that right hip come back. And then if you want to bring the gaze up and back, stretch out the core. Take a few breaths here. Keep that left hip forward. And then bring the body up. Hands interlace at our lower back. We'll take a shoulder rinse. Draw the knuckles down our back calf towards the back calf. Roll the shoulder blades down and back. Squeeze through your shoulders. Big breath in. Keep the bind. Half splits, Ardha Hanuman on the exhale. Straighten the front leg. Taking the shoulder rinse a little bit deeper. Keep the right hip pulling back. Keep constant pressure in your front heel. Take one more breath with the bind. Keep the half splits. Release the bind. Hands come forward. Plant all 10 fingers in the mat just in front of your right heel. And then use those fingers to help pull the right hip back and down. Nice, one more breath. Now as we come forward, plant the right foot, bring the hands in front of the right foot, coming up into a one-legged Tadasana. Left knee comes into the chest, standing all the way up. Find a nice strong one-legged Tadasana. Arms down by the sides. Chest is pressing forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades down. Tree pose. Left hand grabs the left ankle, brings it to the inside of your left thigh, maybe to your calf. Hands draw to heart center. So before we move on from here, really engage your left glute to pull your left hip back. Opening up as much as we can through the hips. And you can bring your hands back to heart, or maybe extend your arms towards the ceiling. So work your way into your fullest expression of your tree pose. Gaze can start to shift up. Let's say about 3 more breaths here. So really actively pressing to the ball of the right foot. Crown of the head is reaching tall. And hands come back to heart. Come back into your one-legged Tadasana, left knee into the chest. And then step your left foot about 3 feet back, moving into a pyramid pose. Both heels flat on the ground, hands to your hips. Feel the body lengthen as you come forward. And as soon as the hands can touch the ground, let the fingertips come to the ground, restabilize the hips, pull that right hip back, left hip forward, lengthen the spine, and on your exhale, fold. Take some time here. Keep that right hip pressing back. A little bit of micro adjustments. So a little push forward with the left hip, a little pull back with the right hip. Nice. Now feel that length. And then the front knee could be a little bent if you need it to. Now start to walk your fingers in front of the right foot, about a foot. Push the right hip back. Start to feel the right toes get a little lighter. You're pushing back so much with the fingertips. Now keeping the fingers where they're at, bring a bend to your right knee. Put some pressure into your fingers. Come forward, lift your left leg off the ground. Now we're going to build Dekasana airplane from the ground up. So now with that left leg lifted, start to lighten up the fingers, engage your core. Lift and straighten up the torso. Expand through the chest, reach the fingertips back. Nice. Now bring your left knee into your chest, standing up into that one-legged Tadasana again, arms down by the side. Maybe a little lean back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift your knee into your chest. Take a breath. And on the exhale, back through our Dekasana airplane. Extend through the limbs. And then we'll bend that right knee. Going to slowly land into crescent moon pose. Drop the back knee. Inhale, arms high. Settle back in. Bring the palms and fingertips together. Thumbs come to the nape of the neck. Elbows squeeze next to the ears. And let the back of your head rest into your forearms. Feel that nice support from your arms into your head. Keep the chest lifted. And then extend the arms long above the head. Feel that back bend just open up in front of you. Adjust your hips. Beautiful. Inhale pulls us up. Now on the exhale, hands down to the mat. Curl your back toes. Right knee comes into the chest. Forehead to the knee. Chase that knee all the way back, 3-legged dog. And downward dog, exhale. Big breath in. Big exhale. 5 feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to left elbow. All right, now press it here and hold the connection. Feel that connection. Adjust your hands. And then start to pull that left knee back. Driving towards but not touching. Press into your hands. Press into your thumbs. Adjust through the shoulders. Navel into spine. About 2 more breaths. Maybe coming up high into the back tippy toes. Inhale. Exhale, left knee, left wrist. Press it in first. Adjust the shoulders, adjust the hands. And then pull that left knee away from the wrist. Hold it there. Even pressure through the hands. Try not to go distorted with the shoulders. Left shoulder wants to pull forward, so pull it back. Last 2 breaths. Inhale, left knee into the chest. Come up high in the back tippy toes. Flex your left toes. Slowly step between the hands. Drop the back knee. Crescent moon pose. Lift. And we settle. Right hip is tracking forward. Left hip is moving back to find that stability in the hips. And then if you moved into your back bend on the other side, gaze can shift up. Taking your favorite crescent moon back bend. Try to keep the shoulders engaged and pulling down. Back bends join us. And we'll take our shoulder rinse. Interlace the hands. Opposite thumb on top. Draw the knuckles down, shoulder blades draw together, so you're pushing the chest forward. Couple breaths here. Draw the knuckles actively down, squeeze your shoulder blades, push the chest forward, keep the bind, half splits on the exhale. Straighten the front leg, letting the body cascade over this front leg. And then hands lift off your lower back as best as you can. Just a couple more breaths here. Keeping half splits, release the bind. Hands come in front of this left heel. And then using the traction from the fingertips to pull your left foot back and drop your left hip. Lots of movement, lots of little micro movements here. One more breath. Now as we come forward, we're going to plant the left foot. All 10 fingers reach a little farther in front of the foot, coming up into that one-legged Tadasana. Right knee drives into the chest. We're going to stand all the way up. Pause here, arms down by the sides. Lift your left toe or right toes. And then right hand's going to grab the right ankle, finding our tree pose. Hands in our heart center. Engage your right glute to pull that right knee open. And now taking whatever variation you took last time, maybe the arms went above the head, maybe you interlace the fingers behind the back, take another shoulder rinse. So about 10 more seconds to play around with your tree pose. Challenge your balance. Find something maybe a little challenging for you today. Firm through that left heel. One more breath. Releasing any bind, hands back to heart. Right knee comes into the chest. Ooh, find your balance. And then we'll step the right foot back, pyramid pose. So short stance, left hip back, right hip forward. Lengthen the body on the inhale. And then as soon as those hands can touch the mat, let the hands take the body weight. Readjust, push your left hip back. Feel the length in your spine. And then on your exhale, you're going to fold over this right leg, left leg. Breathe here. Think about that screw top analogy we talk about. The left hip is moving back as the right hip moves forward. All right, so that's how we find that evenness when our legs are uneven. Walk the fingers a little farther in front. All 10 fingers press in the mat. Roll that left hip back even more. Feel your left toe start to get light. Really put a lot of pressure in that left heel, but you feel that left hip push back. All right, a little bend to your left knee. Engage and lift the right leg. So building our Dekasana from the ground up. The right leg engaged, engage your core, lift up. Arms reaching back, engage your shoulders. Right knee starts to drive into the chest. We're going to stand all the way up, back into that one-legged Tadasana. Pause here. Drive your right knee into your chest, lift through the right toes, maybe a gentle little back bend here. And then coming back through our Dekasana airplane. Extend the right leg and both arms. Bend your left knee, and we're going to land as light as we can into our crescent moon pose. Right knee hits the mat. Arms lift high. Palms touch. Thumbs to the nape of the neck. Now feel that comfort again. Head is resting into the forearms. Right hip forward, lift the chest. And then if it felt good to extend the arms on the other side, extend those arms. Feel this breath. Inhale brings us up and forward. Hands down to the mat. Curl the right toes. Left knee into the chest. Forehead touches the knee. And we'll chase that left knee all the way back to our three-legged dog. Downward dog on the exhale. Big breath in. Exhale. All right, right foot step to the outside of the right pinky finger. Active lizard pose. So we're going to keep this left knee off the ground. Hands are on the mat. And we'll start to move side to side. Forward and back, side to side. Freedom of movement here. So feel whatever feels good for you. There's no right or wrong. Maybe even flirt with maybe straightening this right leg. Coming into a wide pyramid pose. Just about 5 more seconds. Feel free with your movements. And then back to center. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Drive your knee in towards your chest. Flex the toes. Hover the right foot. Then step it down, crescent lunge. Left knee is high this time as we come up. Feet about hip distance apart. So very strong and stable in your base. Feel that left hip push forward, right hip screw back. All right, take a breath in. And on the exhale, fierce crescent. Let's sweep the arms back behind us for this crescent. Hinge the body forward, squeeze the shoulders. Feel that right hip start to roll back. Lots of engagement to the left leg. Next inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Left knee drives into the chest, stand all the way up. Pause here. Feel your balance, lift your left toes, take your breath. And Utkatasana chair pose. Both feet hit the mat, arms lift towards the ceiling, and sink down into your hips. Nice. Lighten through your toes, biceps back by the ears. Now left leg is going to stay on the mat. Inhale, right knee comes all the way up into the chest. And then we'll take our figure 4 chair or half chair. Hands come into heart center, right ankle on top of your left knee, and then we'll take some time to sink down. Hands can come to your knee, to your body, wherever you need to for support. If you have an arm balance you want to move into your arm balances. Got about another 15 seconds here. Personally, I like to bring my hands down to the mat, press my fingertips into the mat, and kind of press back into my left heel. 2 more breaths. All right, hands back to heart. Standing back up, right knee into the chest. And on the exhale, right leg steps back. Trikonasana triangle pose. Arms extend, left leg is forward. Let that right hip pull back. Then your left hand can come down and rest on top of your left shin. Or maybe come up to your abdomen. You're putting a little bit more pressure into your left hamstring. So whatever feels best for you, try to rotate the heart towards the ceiling. Gaze can shift up or down. About 2 more breaths. Keep that right shoulder engaged. Spin the chest open. Inhale. And on the exhale, back to our downward dog. Bending that front knee. Plant the hands. Step your left foot back. Downward dog. Breath in. Exhale. Now, next exhale, left foot steps forward, outside of our left pinky finger into our lizard pose. So coming back to that active lizard pose on our second side. Hands into the mat. Find your freedom of movement here. Moving through the hips. Feel it out. No right or wrong. How do your hips feel right now? Maybe flirting with that wide-legged pyramid pose. Just a little bit of movement here, about 10 more seconds. There really is no wrong movements. As long as it feels good with your body, you're not injuring yourself. Play around with your movements. All right, back to center. Inhale, left leg high. And on the exhale, crescent lunge. Stepping through. Engage and rise up. Feet about hip distance apart. Feel that right hip push forward, left hip kind of move back. Biceps are framing the ears. Pinky fingers rotate in. Sink down a little bit deeper in your front knee, but try to keep your left toes light. Now with that stability in your hips, let's reach the arms back, fierce crescent. Palms facing down, fingers reaching back. Pull your left hip back and sink into your hips. Now feel that back leg start to get a little lighter. We're going to move into that one-legged Tadasana. Oops. Find your balance. Right knee comes into the chest. And then we're going to sit down into our chair pose. Both feet meet, arms lift high, and settle back in. Lighten up through the toes, press firmly through the heels, sink down a little deeper. Now right leg stays, left knee starts to get a little lighter. Bring your left knee into your chest. And then cross your left ankle over your left knee, or right knee. And then we'll move into our figure 4 chair. If you can cross your left ankle over your left knee, good for you. Now taking your version you took on the other side, sinking down deep, moving into your arm balance, whatever you did on the other side. I like to take my fingers in front and press into my right heel. Nice and back. Active and aware wherever you move to. It's about 5 more seconds here. Inversions, make your way back. Everybody, let's bring our hands back to heart center. Standing back up, left knee into the chest. And on your exhale, step your left leg back, setting up for a Trikonasana triangle pose. Arms open up wide, left hip back, right arm pulls us forward. And then finding our way into our Trikonasana. Take support if you need support. Maybe you brought your hand to your abdomen on the other side, adding a little more pressure into your right hamstring. Try to keep your left shoulder actively open. It's about 2 more breaths. Next exhale, left hand comes down to the mat, bending your right knee, 3-legged dog, right leg high, and then downward dog. Big breath in. Exhale. Inhale, hinge forward, high plank. It's about 20 seconds in our high plank here. Knees can be up or down. If you want to find some movement, find a little movement side to side. Maybe rock forward and back. Pressing all 10 fingers into the mat, whether your knees are up or down. Last 10 seconds. Navel into spine. Now, if you're finding movement, pause. And then we'll take our forearm plank, elbows to the mat, 1 elbow at a time. And we'll start with our shoulders stacked on top of the elbows. Again, knees can be up or down. And then start to walk the feet back, taking the shoulders behind the elbows. So putting more into your core now. Now try to pull your elbows back and pull your toes forward. Ooh, feel your core light up. 10 more seconds. Press into your elbows. Feel your hips start to tent up. Pull your navel in. Pull in the ribs. 1 more breath. And then drop the knees to the mat. Nice job. Come into a seat. Breath in. Exhale. Now from your seated position, bring both hands behind us. All 10 fingers pressed into the mat. We'll take a supported camel pose. So pressing into all 10 fingers, lift the hips, drop the head back, press the chest forward. About 10 seconds here. Try to draw the shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest. Feel the collarbone smile. And then we'll let the hips come back down towards the heels. Hands to the tops of the thighs, big breath. Exhale. All right, let's untuck the legs from underneath us. A little bit of final stretching here. So keeping your right knee into the chest, let your left leg fall long, go long onto your mat. And we're going to hug the right leg. So wrap the arms up in front of the right calf. Pull your quad into your chest. Then use that to lengthen the spine. Lift to the crown of the head. Take a few breaths here. All right, we're going to take a version of Jani Shavasana. So release that leg. I'm going to move the right shoulder just to the inside of the right knee. So making that compression here, right knee, right shoulder touching. And if this doesn't feel good, take a version that feels best for you. All right. Now, both hands on this left calf. Feel the length in the spine on the inhale. And then keeping that pressure right knee to right shoulder, slowly start to bring the body forward. And then moving your arms or your hands to whatever hand placement feels best for you. But try to keep that right knee hugging into your shoulder. You might need to adjust as you go, moving the right torso out of the way as you move deeper. Now you can stay right here. If you want to turn this into a bind, right arm is going to come in front of the right shin, right hand to your lower back, and then left hand comes behind us. We'll grab the fingers, readjust. Now you can use your right shoulder as a little more leverage. So press your right shoulder back, your right bicep back on the inhale, and on the exhale, folding over this left leg. A couple more like that. Feel the length on the inhale, and feel that right shoulder pull back to push the left shoulder forward. One more time. All right, release and rise up. Release the bind, extend the legs. Give a little drum roll. All right, and we'll switch sides. So right leg's going to stay extended this time. Bring your left knee into your chest. And then we'll hug our left knee. Bring your quad into your chest. Lift through the crown of the head. Take a few breaths here. Feel that length in the spine. And then we'll take our compressed Jani Shavasana. So bring your left shoulder inside your left knee. You might need to walk your left foot out just a bit. Now lengthening up on the inhale, keep the compression. And on the exhale, folding over this right leg. And a few breaths like that. It's probably about 15 seconds here. And then we'll add the bind in for about the last 20 or so seconds. Moving your hands down this right leg. You might not be able to get as deep because of the way that our left leg is now. Take one more breath. All right, we'll take our bind. Left hand or left arm in front of the left shin. Right hand reaches behind us. All right. Now finding that bind, you can grab fingertips, grab wrists, whatever it is. Feel the length of the spine on the inhale. And on the exhale, left arm comes back, left shoulder comes back to press the right shoulder forward. A couple more times like that. It's about another 10 seconds or so. See if you can get a little bit more length in the torso over this right leg. Last breath. And release and rise up. Releasing the bind. Extend the left leg. Bounce it out. All right, then we'll take Baddha Konasana for our final active pose. So bring the feet together, soles of the feet touching. You can bring the heels in pretty close to the groin, or you can be a little wider for your yin pose, whatever feels best. Thumbs can be in the inside of the feet. Elbows are welcome to press to the inside of the calves as well. And then on your exhale, find your version of this pose. You can come forward and down, rounding through the spine. You can keep the spine long. Like I said, elbows can press into the inner thighs, start to press the knees down. Two more breaths here. Always moving and always working on something. Rotating the feet open, press through the heels, press through the calves. One more breath. All right, then rise slowly. And then we're going to make our way onto our backs, knees together. Draw your knees into your chest. Then we'll come down into a happy baby. You can grab the soles of the feet, knees either side of the torso. Be free here to play around with movement. So maybe you like to straighten your legs, one or both. Take some time here. There's nothing that you can do that is wrong as long as it feels good in your body. And it's about 2 more breaths. All right, now release the feet. Bring the knees into the chest. Squeeze nice and deep. Take a big breath in. Exhale, squeeze. And then release your legs long, moving into your final Shavasana. Legs long, arms by the sides. Eyes can be open or closed here. Feel the practice start to absorb into the body. And feel that rest happening. Now stay here in your final Shavasana as long as you need to. Thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.